Super, so we've reached the point of assembling the cake. Now to obviously start building, I have to get some equipment next to me. I'm going to go for this size, which is like a 6-inch. Just looking to find a cutter so that when I cut, I actually get to the right size. Now I can practically build the cake using this cutter. I don't have to necessarily go for a frame, but I'm going to use this sturdy ring to build rather than using the cutter. But the cutter is perfectly fine. So I've got a board which is covered with cling film. I want to cover it with cling film because if I build my cake upside down, if I get into trouble when I turn the cake over, I can always just cut the acetate, the cling film, and then I can release the cake nicely without damaging the top. And I also need some acetate paper, which I'm going to get in here. Okay, and I need something to level. I usually use a stamp. No, I'm just looking to see where that is. So this is my little stamp, which I'm going to use, but it can be just a piece of like a cake card wrapped in cling film, which you can just use to kind of press and get the layers nice and even. Okay, so the next step now is just to cut my layers of sponge and to make some syrup. I'm going to use some natural lemon syrup and some water. I've used the brand before and I know it's very, very good. And it's just going to give me a really nice lemony flavor. But you can also just make like a caramel syrup if you want to. That's not a problem. And so just setting the lid in here and agitating. I've got the spatula for leveling and I'm going to trim the cake. It's going to start by transferring the sponge on the table and see how many layers I can get out of my sponge. Okay, so it looks really, really nice. And it tastes super nice. But obviously it's nice for whoever likes coconut. If you've got someone who doesn't like coconut, then you'll have to find like an alternative. Okay, I think I'm going to be fine with just one of the sheets. The other one can go in the freezer. But what I can do is actually I can move those around and complete a layer by just filling in. Yep, that looks good. And then yeah, the rest can be eaten. Super, super nice, but a bit sweet. But once this starts getting into the cake, because we've got the lemon, that sweetness will disappear. Okay, so just going to set this on the scale. I'm going to start with the flat layer. Look for a piece which looks super neat. I'm going to put that in here and start working on quantities as well. I usually put the first layer without taking in consideration how much it weighs. Okay, and then I know I've got to put 1, 2, 3 layers, and I've got here quite a decent amount. So what I'm going to put here will be about 200 grams of coconut. And then about, lovely, about 100 grams of lemon. And then just put the next layer up, and I'm going to put this one, which is made out of little pieces. Okay, just pressing down. Of course, I can use my stamp, or I can just use my hand. Just going to use my hand for now. Drizzling and doing the same thing. Okay, just going to put the third, sorry, and then use the stamp this time to level. Again, some syrup. $200. Now, if you want a perfect layer, you can definitely either pipe the cream, or what you can do, you can put it into a silicone tray and set it in the fridge, and it just turns out perfectly layered. If that's the case, I don't really care that much about that. So it's got 300. Just going to look at the oven and turn. Good. Okay, now the next one. Again, just pressing down with my stamp, putting the syrup. And then just getting the 200 grams plus the 100 grams of the lemon cream, and the last bit of my sponge. Flatten and some more syrup, and then I can just excuse me, get the bit level. So practically, because it's just up to the top and it's perfectly level, both parts can be used as a top. I think I'm going to still flip it upside down. I said both parts can be used as top or bottom. Okay, super.